So we've heard a lot since May about the systemic problems in our society, some of which, by the way, are real. We do have problems. But BLM had a solution that never made a ton of sense. This summer, BLM activists decided maybe we should destroy statues of a bunch of people who've been dead for centuries. Maybe that'll make life better for Americans. So rioters in Baltimore, Raleigh, San Francisco, many other places did just that. Well, that was fun, so they kept going. If you can't work, wreck stuff. In June, mobs attempted to tear down the Andrew Jackson statue to steps from the White House. Well, after that happened, the president, you may remember this, issued an executive order designed to punish vandalism of public monuments, and the feds began cracking down on it. But in Washington, lawmakers there have been thinking hard about how to continue to destroy things. So a committee created by D.C. Mayor Muriel Bowser, the mayor who's overseen the dramatic decline of the city, released a report Tuesday asking the federal government to, quote, remove, relocate, or contextualize monuments. What monuments? Well, the Jefferson Memorial, the Washington Monument. Gone. That'll make the city better. Schools named after heroes like Ben Franklin and Alexander Graham Bell also need to be modified, according to the committee. That'll make life better. But will it? Robert Woodson is the founder of the Woodson Center and a frequent guest in this show. Mr. Woodson, we're glad to have you tonight. So,
pleased to be here, Tucker.
If we took down the Washington Monument tomorrow, if we bulldozed the Jefferson Memorial, whose lives would get better?
Well, that's the biggest question. You know, someone once said, Tucker, when truth-based facts are discounted, then lies become normal. Yeah. And that's what we're seeing here. Of all of the challenges facing particularly black residents of Washington, D.C., why is this mayor spending time and energy and money talking about tearing down statues? It's really, they're flirting with a very dangerous impulse when they start doing this, Tucker, because you think about in the French Revolution, what they tried to do is rewrite history and destroying the symbols of history. What you're seeing around the country are guillotines being established, because in the French Revolution, what they did, of course, is wipe out the people, the church, and also the aristocracy, and try to even change the calendar. And as a consequence, it really took us into a dark period. And what the mayor doesn't understanding, that America is a country of redemption. None of us should be defined by the worst of what we were. But it's very dangerous for them to be flirting with this. The Russian Revolution, the same thing happened there. They wanted to rewrite history. But all of the challenges, the black-on-black violence that is at an all-time high, there's where we ought to be concentrating our energies and our efforts. But we're reaching a really level of depravity when rioters in Portland are locking people in buildings and trying to burn it down. And also people are cheering when a Trump supporter is shot to death. I've never seen that level of depravity before in this country.
I haven't either. One theme that connects all of these events is destruction. I think there are a lot of problems in this country that we should try and solve, but I don't see any of these people trying to solve it. They're not building anything. They're not creating anything. They're tearing down what previous generations built. Where's the person who's going to stand up and say, if you're upset about inequality, let's improve the schools. Let's not just wreck the good schools. Let's make the bad schools good. Why does nobody say that?
Well, that's the point, Chuck. But also, they fail to answer this question. If the problems facing, for instance, the inner city blacks can they be solved by addressing institutional racism? And if so, what is the strategy for ending institutional racism? And what is the relationship of that remedy to the problems facing inner city blacks? We had a mother of an 8-year-old who was killed by a young black man, and a Black Lives Matter representative came to her and told her she must really quiet down and not raise this issue because it takes Black Lives Matter off message. It deflects attention away from their message. And their message is blacks being killed by the police, even though only 14 unarmed blacks were killed by police in the course of 1 year. And for every one of those blacks killed, 270 blacks were killed by other blacks. And yet Black Lives Matter is going to convince us that the biggest challenge that we face are the police killing blacks. So again, as I said, if fact-based truths are discounted, then lies become normal. And that's what's happening in our society today. Lies are becoming normal. And that's dangerous for all of us.
It is dangerous, and our children. Robert Woodson, thank you so much. Appreciate it.
Thank you.